All right, so this last tool that I'm going to show you for understanding utility maximization is going to actually combine two of the tools that we've already learned previously. What we're doing here is we're going to map combinations of total utility of two products with a budget line. So basically we're going to draw a budget line. Now I want you to notice I made this grid very large. The reason that I made it very large is that at every one of these intersection points we're going to write a number, okay? And so we're going to write a bunch of numbers in here, and we're also going to draw a budget line, okay? And what we're going to do in this particular example is we're going to use the same information from the last video where we compared two utility schedules. We're going to use that example in this example. So go back to your notes and look at that example. And here's just sort of a very simple, procedure here, 3 steps. So if you want to pause the video and go ahead and write down everything you see here in the procedure. And also, you may want to draw yourself a coordinate grid. And you're not going to need very many squares. I went up 4 and I went over 5, and that should be sufficient. And then we'll get to the details of the example. All right, so I hope you paused it and went ahead and wrote down all the notes. So the budget that we're going to have for this particular example is going to be, it's going to be $24, okay? So for this example, our budget, let's write it down here maybe. The budget is $24, and if you look at the two products from the previous video, the previous example, we had product X, okay? And so the price, if you recall, of product X was $6, and the price of product Y in that example was $8. And we're going to use that same information. Okay, and so with this information, we can now create a budget line. And so to make a budget line, we are going to, on the x-axis, product X has a price of $6. We're going to do the budget. $24 divided by $6 is 4. 24 divided by 6 is 4. So along the x-axis, we're going to go to 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to put a dot right there. And then we're going to do the same thing for the y-axis. I'm doing it backwards from the procedure we did before, but it's the same. So we're going to do 24 divided by 8 is 3, and so on the y-axis, we're going to go to 3. 1, 2, 3. We'll put a 3 right here, a dot right here at 3. And then, if you look back at the procedure, it says we're supposed to connect these two dots. And when we connect these two dots, that's going to be our budget line. See here, to there maybe. Oops. All right, great. Now here's what we understand, is that everything below this line is affordable. Everything above this line is not affordable. Also, everything on the line is affordable. So note, whatever is at this point right here, that's affordable. And whatever's at this point is also affordable. This point is affordable. This point is not affordable. This point is affordable. This point is not affordable. But this point is affordable right here. And all of these points here are also affordable. Okay? And so we can afford anything that's on the line or below the line. And that's what we understand about budget lines. And now what we're going to do is this. It says that at each coordinate point, so this is the coordinate point 0, 2. This is the coordinate point 3, 0. At each coordinate point, we're going to write the sum of the total utilities for both product quantities. Okay? So for example, at the point 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, right here, we're going to take the total utility of product X at a quantity of 3 and add to that the total utility of product Y at a quantity of 4? Well, let's look back to our notes. Let's see, at a quantity of 3, let's see, our total utility was 96. So this number is 96, and the total utility at a quantity of 4 for product Y was 154. And so we're going to have 96 plus 154. 96 plus 154, that's equal to 250. And so we're going to put this sum of these two total utilities, 250, we're going to put it at the coordinates 3, 4. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And right here, we're going to put the number 250. What does that mean? That means that if this person, if this individual or this household consumed 3 units of product X and 4 units of product Y, they would achieve 250 utility. Okay? And so every one of these, the numbers that are going to be on here are going to be the utilities, the combination utilities for consuming a mix of 2 products. Except for along the axes. Along the axes, it's going to, because this axis here is X equals 0, this axis will have the numbers if we just consume Y, and this axis will have if we just consume X. So let's go ahead and fill in what's on the axes, because what goes on the axes is going to come right out of our table. All right, so if we look at the table, for product Y, for a quantity of 1, the total utility is 49. For a quantity of 2, it's 95. For a quantity of 3, it's 131. And then for a quantity of 4, it's 154. So here, all we're putting in is the actual values from the table for just product Y, because on the axis, we're doing X equals 0. Now along this axis, we're going to do where Y is equal to 0 and X is equal to 1, 2, 3, or 4. So for 1 unit of X, total utility is 39. For 2 units of X, it's 71. For 3 units of X, it's 96. And then for 4 units of X, it's 115. Okay? And now what we can do is we can just take those numbers, and to get the number that goes here, we just do 39 plus 49. And that's going to be 88. So we're going to put an 88 here. And so why don't you go ahead and pause the video and do that, and I'm going to jump ahead and fill all these in. All right, if you want to go ahead and check your numbers to the numbers I got, all I did was add, 71 plus 131, and that gives us 202. And it's the same thing with every single one of them. Okay, we're just about done here, because really, once you've done all this, all you have to do now is select the largest number on a coordinate that's under or on the budget line. So anything on this side of the budget line, outside of the budget line, we cannot achieve these numbers. This person, given their budget, cannot get 145 utility. They cannot get 166 utility. They cannot get 227 utility. So here's what we have. We can get 131 because that's on the line. We can get 115 because that's on the line. We can get 120 because that's under the line. And we can get 134. Because that's under the line. And the largest number among all those is 134. And so the maximum utility that this person can achieve is 134 utility. And what would they have to consume in order to get 134 utility? Well, this is the coordinate 1, 2. So that's 1 unit of X and 2 units of Y. And so this person would, now obviously we don't actually do it this way in regular life, but this is how this is a mathematical way to understand something that's not happening mathematically. But this person would achieve the most satisfaction, given their limited budget, if they consumed 2 units of product Y and 1 unit of product X. And if I'm not mistaken, that's consistent with the procedure that we did in the previous video, okay? All right, that's it for utility maximization and some tools that can help you comprehend and understand utility maximization. And what we're going to do in the next few videos, we're going to move on to profit maximization with businesses and firms, organizations, that sort of thing.